So I'm gonna talk a little bit about tortillas. There's so many options of tortillas when you go to the grocery store today. Although right now there's not a lot of tortilla options because with the coronavirus, a lot of the stores are selling out of products like tortillas and breads. But typically when the stores are fully stocked, there's lots of options. I mean, some stores may even have 100 options of tortillas. So what I tend to look for when I'm buying a tortilla is that it's a whole grain. And that involves reading the label. Okay, so I have a couple different tortillas here. And so what I tend to look for is a whole wheat tortilla. But even with the whole wheat tortillas, they vary a lot. Some are 100% whole wheat and some are just a little bit of whole wheat. So you kind of have to really make sure you're investigating the nutrition label. And so when I'm looking at the nutrition label, what I'm gonna look for is a couple things. I'm gonna look for the calories. I would say that tortillas vary dramatically and they can go from as low as 40 to 50 calories for one tortilla, up to 250 or 300 calories per tortilla. So you really want to be looking, that's a huge range. And so you want to make sure you're looking at the calories. I also like to look at the fiber because that is going to tends to show you how much of a whole grain there is in it. So this one says 3 grams of fiber, 110 calories. And then I also like to go to the ingredients. And when you're looking at ingredients, they always put the ingredient that has the most of it first. And so, for example, this one, the first ingredient is whole wheat flour. So that's going to be what I have most of in this product. The second ingredient for this is water, then some canola oil, some salt, some baking powder, as well as a few other preservatives. And so those are, I would say this is a pretty clean tortilla. The main ingredient is whole wheat flour, doesn't have a lot of other fillers. So this could be a good option. Another option I like to use for kids, because they often need a little smaller size depending on the age of the kid. But this would be for kind of maybe 9, 10-year-old and younger. It has a little bit smaller, slightly smaller size tortilla. It has 50 calories. It also does have quite a bit of fiber. It has dietary fiber, 8 grams. And then when I'm gonna look at the ingredients, I'm like, ooh, why is it 8 grams? That's a lot more than the other one. And so one of the things I'm gonna look at is what's in it. So it's got water as the first ingredient, which is fine. Oat fiber, also fine. Whole wheat flour, also fine. Soy flour. And then it has some other things that kind of help keep it together. So I'd say this is another great option. But I also think it's really important when you're buying tortillas is that they taste good. And so these are ones I've tried and my kids do really like these. Here's one other option, another brand. I'm not partial to any specific brand, but again, I'm just looking that it is gonna be a healthier option. You can't always look at what's written on the front because sometimes what's written on the front is a little bit deceiving. So this one says good source of fiber, which may be true, but sometimes isn't. And so what I'm gonna do is again, look at the back. So I'm gonna look at the nutrition label, calories, 110, which is fine, dietary fiber. Now this one is only 1 gram of fiber. So, you know, somehow along the way, some of the fiber is not in there. I'm gonna look at the ingredients. It has whole wheat flour. So tends to be similar to the other one because it does have whole wheat flour as the first ingredient. Second ingredient's water, then some vegetable shortening. So if I was gonna look at those two, I'd probably choose that first one because it has more fiber. And then it also has, instead of vegetable shortening, it has canola oil, which probably be a little bit healthier oil. So really important to read your labels because if you buy a white tortilla in the store, it can be the same size or sometimes even smaller and have more calories and have no fiber. So the fiber is what's going to be helping you fill up, as well as I tend to really like the taste. But sometimes getting used to the whole wheat flavor, it has a little bit nuttier flavor and it takes some getting used to. So a lot of times I say try out several different brands and see what you like to try to get used to some real tasty flavors. Okay, so that's our tortilla lesson.